guys, it's Anthony. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you a story that was told to me when I was getting started in car sales. This was over 10 years ago at Woodbury Nissan, where I first started selling cars. Shout out to Woodbury Nissan. My general manager, Tom McMinimum at the time, shout out to Tom Mack, told a story to us in a Saturday meeting, and this story stuck with me forever. It's as if it was told to me yesterday. I share it with all of my salespeople, and I think it's really cool. I call it the Snow White story, and there's a valuable lesson in this story that I'm sure a lot of your managers have said to you, but I think this is a great example as to how relevant the story is and how everyone needs to apply this practice of leaving your shit at the door, no matter which business you're in or no matter which endeavor you're taking on. So I'm going to share with you the Snow White story. It's pretty neat. So this is 10 years ago. Tom, his wife, and his daughter were in Disney World, and Tom had a daughter, has a daughter, and at the time she was, 3 or 4 years old, let's say, and she was in line waiting to meet Snow White. So for those who have never gone to Disney World, yes, there are attractions, but there's also meet and greets where you can meet the characters. And, some of the popular characters like Snow White or Mickey or Minnie, they're long lines, right? A lot of times they're like an hour, 2 hours just to meet the character. And naturally the character has to take a break and maybe to use the restroom or whatever the case may be. So in between the main characters, there's also like a little shorter line where you can meet some of the in-between characters, right? So Snow White was on break or wherever she was, and, people were going up and meeting the other characters, but Tom's daughter and his wife were in line waiting for Snow White. So Tom's killing some time. He's on the phone. He kind of wanders off to the side behind the attraction where it's really not part of the Disney World, facade that they create, but it's kind of like behind the attraction. There's like a green fence, and you're really not supposed to go there, but it's not off limits. Like, he wasn't breaking any rules, but he was kind of wandering around. He was on his phone. He's behind the attraction, and who does he see but Snow White? So he sees Snow White on the phone smoking a cigarette. And she's on the phone, and she's cursing at somebody. You mother F this, F that. She's going crazy. So Tom sees her, and he's kind of like, she sees him too, so he's kind of embarrassed that they see each other, and he's like, all right, and he wanders off and goes away. So he's like, wow, that was crazy. Like, I saw her in her whole getup, the makeup, the rosy cheeks, and the whole bit, but she's on the phone reaming somebody out, smoking a cigarette, right? Or as the kids would say, a dart. And let's fast forward 45 minutes, an hour goes by. Snow White's back at the top, everybody's going and meeting her. Tom's daughter and wife get to the front of the line. They go up to meet Snow White. Snow White is in full character. Hey, honey, come on. Sits on her lap, take a picture, hugging. So great to see you. She's in full-blown Snow White mode. She's in complete character. You could have never imagined that this same person 45 minutes ago was on the side of the building mother effing people smoking cigarettes. But what Snow White did was she left it at the door. She left it out there. You could have never known or felt that based on her character and her portrayal of her character, her doing her job when she was with Tom's daughter and Tom's wife and Tom. So the valuable lesson is leave it at the door. And it's easier said than done. I get that. And that's what it takes. Work. It takes discipline. It takes you making a promise to yourself that whatever going on outside of work, trust and believe it'll be there when you leave. It's going to be there. So, and I told one of my salespeople this last week, give yourself a break. You owe it to yourself. It's going to be there when you leave, whatever that is, but give yourself a break and leave it at the door. We've all been there. If you're entertaining, a toxic conversation, either, over phone or text, or if you're doing anything that's going to, inject negativity into your mindset or mess with your emotional state, your mental state, you're decreasing your chances of being able to do your job effectively. And it may feel like you're giving your best effort when you're at work, but you're really not. I used the analogy before that it's like bench pressing, but with one arm. Yes, it feels like I'm giving 100%, but I'm really only giving 50. It feels like 100, but I'm not using the other arm. So do yourself a favor, leave that stuff at the door, be like Snow White, right? And this also applies, for management as well. And I've spoken to managers about this, and I think this is very important, that managers and salespeople also have a strong, healthy relationship that it's not toxic, because if you're engaging in toxic conversations with your manager back and forth, especially if you have a customer in the showroom, it's very hard to turn that switch off and go back and talk to your customer and be your best self. It's actually impossible. You may feel like, if you're in a heated discussion with somebody and then you have to go walk over and put your smiley face on, yes, it may look like you're doing your best, but your customers can pick up on it. They can tell you're faking it. They can just tell it's off. The energy's off, right? So do yourself a favor. Whatever you have going on outside of work, leave it out of work. It's going to be there when you get done, right? And also, when you go home, try your best. Leave your work at work. Listen, I fail at that. I fail at that every day. I fail at that way more than I fail at bringing my home life to work. I don't really ever do that, and I'm blessed for that, but that takes time and it takes effort. I don't take personal calls at work. I don't do personal texts. I don't read personal emails. I don't go on TikTok. I don't go on Instagram. I don't do anything that's going to take me out of my flow state. I spend a few hours prior to going to work getting myself grounded and kind of removing any of the BS and clearing my path. So when I go to work, I'm ready to rock and roll. So leave that stuff at the door. Preferably leave it at home. Don't even bring it in the car ride with you, and be like Snow White. Be in full character mode. Be your best character. We are performers. We're performing. And if you do it genuinely and you really, truly clear your mind of all of the nonsense, your customers will pick up on that. They're going to sense you're genuine. They're going to buy into whatever you're selling them. And ultimately, you're going to sell more cars. Hey, my friend, thank you for watching. And if you want to see videos just like this one, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the love and support. And don't forget, leave some comments down below. I'm looking forward to all of your interaction and feedback, and I can't wait to bring you more videos just like this one. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.